quickly walk you through the showroom and show you a few things. I'm sitting in our Venice sofa. Venice is
I saw that one. I like
up on
that one.
legs, and I'll show you around. Venice is kind of cool. This is Venice in leather. Now, in leather, we soften it up, right? So you'll see some wrinkling here. We do that intentionally so that when you sit down on it, it's not like a balloon, right? If we were to make it firm, it would be really balloon-like you'd be sitting on top. From a design perspective, everything has this beautiful kind of rolled feel. Everything has curves. The cushions have what we call a waterfall design. So the back cushions, there's no top seam here. We call it boxing with a top stitch. Everything is going like that. The seat cushions the same way. Everything has this rounded kind of feel to it. Kind of gives it for a nice little design detail. Even the legs are round legs with the little piping all the way around. This is the
gorgeous. I like that one.
Yeah, it's really, really pretty. Looks nice in the back too. Has a nice kind of detail to it. All of this has this curve and this little detail here and all that. And this is our Carmelo leather. I don't know if you were doing leather or fabric. This leather scratches a little bit. We call it patinaing. You know, you see a little scratch here. You can see that there. But if I rub it, it kind of comes out. Can't get the whole thing out, but you get enough of this kind of scratching. It kind of has this, you know, kind of worn look to it. It's really kind of a beautiful leather.
Okay.
Then over here is our Palo Alto sofa. Now, one of the things that I don't think this is the right fit for you, but I'll show you anyway, because I have two different seat cushions. Over here, I have the structured cushion, and over here, I have the foam and trillium wrap. The structured cushion has a spring in it, right? It's kind of bouncy. It's a little firmer. It's for people who need a clean line. Maybe they're older, they want to sit up a little higher. It has a much cleaner look to it, much cleaner feel. Over here is our foam and trillium. You notice I sink down into it quite a bit more.
Yeah.
My body kind of sinks. Now this sofa in general, this kind of design is not a very comfortable, cozy design. You'll see it's named Palo Alto. You'll see in my collections, everything is named after a California city. I do that, you know, to kind of explain the fit and feel of it. This was after Palo Alto, where I sat in a bunch of VC firms raising money for my last company, where I felt like they had a sofa like this in every single office. So for that cleaner look, right, a little bit more office-like or conversational, this could be a good pick. Now back here, this is Sacramento. Now Sacramento is a little upright, a little uptight, right? They're a little bit more classic. Maybe, you know, kind of boring, but it's an everyday, you know, classic, little bit more upright sofa, right? Again, I don't know that this is the right fit for you. It does have a higher seat. You'll see that I'm sitting upright a little more. This is a great book reading sofa. This is a great kind of standard everyday sofa for people who have, you know, who are used to this look and feel. Taller back, higher seat. There's a little bit of pitch in the seat, makes you taco a little bit. I find for taller people, this tacoing thing works really well and kind of makes people feel comfortable. And in this one, we have both the structured over here. You'll see, notice it's a little bit cleaner looking, but again, it's a little firm, a little bouncy. And then over here, we have the softer foam and trillium wrap. Okay. This is our Big Sur sofa.
And what is trillium?
Trillium is what we call a micro denier. If you have your like teddy bear stuffing, right? That's a fiber, right? But they rake it really, really thin little, you know, strings of fiber. It kind of wraps up and balls up. They add a little bit of silicone to that, and then that slides like feather. I don't use feather anymore. I don't think down and feather seats work really well. The feathers tend to break over time. Everything crushes. It doesn't have that push power that, say, Trillium has. So I think Trillium lasts quite a bit longer. I also don't really like the bird thing. Bird thing kind of creeps me out in general. And so the whole thing, I don't think really works all that well. And now that we've, kind of figured out this Trillium thing, I've kind of made my career on this foam and Trillium cushion anyway. And everything I have is wrapped in Trillium, or most everything I have is wrapped in Trillium.
Okay.
So this cushion, this seat, this is Palo Alto. It's a deep sofa. This is more scaled like an RH scale of a sofa. It's extra deep. It's for those big RH homes. I would say for you and your husband, it's probably not a great fit, right?
It's really deep.
Yeah, I'm like your husband, 5'8". I weigh about 100 and 85, maybe 190, somewhere in there. I'm not all that comfortable in this, but it does fit the room well. So everything is a give or take, right? Sometimes you want that extra deep sofa for the room. Maybe you love to curl up, that sort of thing.
And which one is that again?
This is the Big Sur.
Okay.
But this is an interesting thing here. One of the things that I do, you'll see I have this blanket back shoved in there. That's basically to simulate taking 2 inches out of the seat depth. So suddenly, this is a very comfortable sofa now. Now I'm not in a kind of laid back position. I fit this really well.
Okay.
So for probably someone like you and your husband, I would say this with 2 inches out of the seat depth would be a good fit.
Oh, yeah, that's a good option too. Okay.
If you wanted this, when you made that order, you would put in the notes, reduced by 2 inches, and we would take care of that. So
Okay.
that's a good little trick there. It's got a wood base that goes all the way around. More of a classic transitional contemporary, or not contemporary, transitional look where we've got some modern, but still a bit of classic to it. Nice wood apron. But this sofa back here, this is one that I think might be a great fit for you, right? This sofa could fit in your living room environment, and you said you might put it in a TV room. This is, I think, our coziest sofa. This is the O side.
Yeah, this is right one that I picked out online that was like kind of my top.
Awesome. It's cozy. This is the best seat in the house, right? This sofa has a corner cushion and a corner back, just like a corner in, say, a sectional sofa, right? So it makes for this really cozy feel.
Yeah.
So let me pull this out of the way and I'll sit in the center of this. This cushion here is our California Cush. This is the one that's got the springs inside it and that we wrap with foam and Trillium all the way around. So you'll see when I get up, not too much wrinkling. It's got a little bit of wrinkling here, but not too bad,
not
right?
Really, yeah.
Yeah, not too bad. Over here in the center, I have foam and Trillium. And then I'll show you actually over here is also foam and Trillium. This is not a bad cushion for you as well, although I do think the California Cush is better. The foam and Trillium is a little teeny bit firmer, but for your body sizes, this is a great fit. And I would say this particular sofa is good for anyone from, I don't know, 5'3", maybe to 6 foot, somewhere in there. The combinations of body. If you're looking for a relatively cozy sofa with a little bit of sink in, right? My body is tacoing a bit. This is a good fit. What's great about this sofa and why I named it Oceanside, California is a beach town, and you have to look as good in the front as you do on the back.
Oh yeah, I like that detail a lot.
So it's got this great leg here. This is our oak version. Spans the back all the way across. This sofa is great when we're floating a sofa out into the middle of the room. It's just as good looking from the back as it is on the front. To be honest, though, if you're not going to do that, if you're not going to float the sofa, it's an expensive leg. So then I often put people in Venice, because Venice is a very kind of similar shape and ergonomics is O-side. O-side just has a really beautiful back. And so if you're just going to shove it up against the wall, maybe it's not such a great detail.
Okay.
I have over here our Santa Monica. This is a mid-century modern sofa where I've taken kind of the look and style of the mid-century modernism and not wrecked the proportions. As a modernist myself, I kind of hate when sofa brands take the proportions of modernism and wreck. I don't know that this is the great sofa for you necessarily. You know, it's a clean sofa. It's cozy-ish for a mid-century modern looking sofa, but I don't know that this is the right fit for you, right? I don't think it's cozy enough.
Can you flip that cushion on the seat, or is it not tough? Like,
no, it's not tufted on the bottom side. You can't flip it. But one of the things that I did in this sofa was I was trying to find or make a cushion that a bench cushion worked. And I have a real issue with bench cushions. You'll see on our site we have bench cushions, right? That's the clean line, single seat cushion. And they do not perform well. In fact, we have a rule that we call every single customer who orders a bench cushion, and we let them know the pros and cons of it. And there are pros and there are cons. And one of the cons is we can't control the fabric when we go that wide and that deep. So they'll always be wrinkling, right? Because we can't push that much fabric and keep it taut without making the seat cushion taco up on its ends or fold or whatever. So I try to let people know, in the photo, it looks beautiful. It's clean. It's beautiful. I get why you would want that. There's no seat seams. I get why you'd want that, right? So maybe those are more important, in a front of the room, something that's not being used all the time. It's beautiful. It's clean. And so maybe that's the positive side. But the negative side is we can't control the fabric. And it's not just me. No one can control the fabric.
Yeah.
So don't, if you go to purchase one or look at one somewhere else, don't let them steer you in a different direction, because there is no controlling of that fabric. You will have butt wrinkling, but you could smooth it out. But at your OCD level, it would be a bad choice for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think that's the right call.
The last sofa that I have to show you is our Not Called Frisco.
Oh yeah, one too. I like this one.
This is very good for a TV room. You mentioned the TV room. Maybe you have 2 rooms that you were going to do. Over here is the structured seat, right? I sit on top of it. It's a much more laid back sofa. It's much more low and loungy. The seat height is low. It's loungy. You or your husband would fit well on this. I mean, this is a perfect clicking TV watching, binge watching sofa.
Yeah.
A little hard to get up if you're old, bad knees, something like that. A little bit tough to get up. So that's why we go to the Sacramento sofa. But this is like low and loungy and cool. And then over here, I have it in the California Cush seat. And this, from a TV watching sofa, I mean, this is where it's at. Like, we sell a ton of these based on this package right here. This sofa fits really tall people. The men tend to man sit, right? The women, shorter women typically, their feet touch the ground, right? And they don't have to curl up like a snake. So this is a really good sofa when I have even a really heavy, one person being really heavy and maybe tall, and one person being really small and light. This sofa does really well. The heavy person sinks in, tacos, that creates this mental picture of comfort. And then for the lighter person, their feet touch the ground, they're sinking into it enough. And I'll kind of show you where I sit, where my shoulders land as well. So you see here, I'm kind of in a good position. It's not too low, it's not too high. I don't have head support. I can get it if I do this, but this is kind of that low, loungy, modern TV watching sofa.
Okay. I hadn't even thought about the fact that like different bodies and different heights and weights sit differently. I mean, it makes total sense, but I hadn't thought of that in my like online browsing experience.
Most people don't, and most stores don't, and frankly, most people don't even want to talk about it. because when we talk about weight, we get kind of weirded out, and it's a touchy subject, but it plays such a significant role. And so
Yeah,
we
I
try
don't think
to.
anyone's ever asked me that, like buying a sofa or furniture. I guess I haven't bought a lot of sofas, but it's such it's such an important factor into what you choose.
100%. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we got going. Let me show you some fabrics.
Okay.
We've got
I
a
did
bunch
order
of
some swatches.
Okay, great. We've got a bunch of fabrics. They all clean with soapy water. Everything is cleanable. You blot with soapy water. You don't want to rub. Rubbing creates, a whole nother like sanded factor to it.
Okay.
But that's basically. Whoop, sorry about that.
There you are.
Yep. So here we got a bunch of different colors.
Okay. What's the one in the back, like the teal? What fabric is that?
That is our Monterey Peacock.
And that's what you have on that back sofa in the room too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we talk about rub counts. All of these are incredibly high rub counts. Some are 100,000, some are 200,000. At this level, there's not a whole lot of rub count difference between the two from a quality standpoint. So don't get caught up on that. Anything over like 50 or 60 or 70, somewhere in there, will last a long, long, long time.
Okay. It almost looked like a velvet. Is it kind of
Yeah,
velvet?
It's very soft, great for
Okay.
cats. It is very, very soft and a little bit velvety. I have just introduced a new velvet line, and you can see that currently on our site. I don't have any swatches here, but we've got lots of great colors in the velvets as well. I love this thick Catalina fabric. That's what you see the sofas in the showroom. It's actually this one, this pearl.
Okay.
It's thick, it folds over nicely, it stitches really nicely. It's a great tailored look, and I just love it.
Okay. So I guess like the one that I had in mind when I first scheduled, like the one that I've had my eye on was the O side.
Okay.
And now I'm kind of thinking I like the Frisco one.
Okay. Yeah. That's a little bit more low loungy. So that we would typically put that one in a TV room. That would be a little bit more TV low and loungy. And then the other one, unless you weren't floating it in the room, would be the Venice, right? That would be the O side replacement.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I think I would do that because it is going to go in a spot where you wouldn't see the back.
Okay. Yeah, then I would definitely recommend the Venice, because why pay for the leg if all you're going to do is put it up against the up against the wall? I mean, there's a little bit of differences between the two, but for the most part, you're spending a lot of money on that extra leg.
Could you show me the Venice leg again?
Sure.
I forgot what that one looked like.
It's just a rounded leg.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, the fabrics, I mean, I like the velvet, but I don't think it's necessarily the right fit for our family.
Okay.
I was leaning more to that Catalina one that felt really nice and durable.
Yeah, that's this here.
And then
that one in the
gray.
The one in the back, which was the Monterey. Now, one thing too, if you said you had a dog or pets or something like that, rub the swatches on the pet. It's a great way to see if the fabric attracts that particular pet's hair, right? Because all pets are a little different. We find that some pets don't attract the same amount of hair on different fabrics, and so it's always a little bit different.
Yeah, so that's actually the light colored lab. That's really bad, and I was almost thinking of getting a light colored sofa just to like compensate for the fact that she sheds so bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good idea, but definitely wipe rub the fabric, because it will be there, right? If it attracts a lot of hair, whether you can see it or not, maybe you'll sit down with some black pants or something like that, or someone will come over, they'll sit down, you won't even know that there's a bunch of hair there. While you won't see it, they'll get up and have it all over their pants or back or whatever. So yeah,
that's a good trick.
Okay.
And once I order, like, how long does it usually take?
Takes about 3 weeks to manufacture, sometimes 4 weeks, but for the most part, everything goes out the door in 3 weeks. Depending on where you live, I would say a week to 2 weeks. The shipping company will make arrangements with you. It's a mutual appointment, so don't let them force you into some crazy appointment.
Okay.
Some of the rural areas, they only go out there, once a month or once every 2 weeks. So you have to be a little bit more forgiving with them. But if you live in a big city, definitely, know that it's a mutual appointment, especially with the white glove shipments. And I always recommend white glove. There's a whole lot of packaging, a pallet, a bunch to be done, not just carry it into the home, but definitely, for the extra $100, in my opinion, at this price point, it's very worth it.
Okay. This has been so helpful. Thank
Awesome.
you. It's like,
You're welcome.
it made me think about things that I would not normally have considered. So
Yeah.
I appreciate it a lot.
Okay. Well, good. Well, thank you. Let me know if you need me. Feel free to reach out. The team can help you. And if you need something even more, they will put you in touch with me, and I'm happy to help and give you some more advice and do what we can.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
Bye.